Pedophilia, once a taboo word in Malaysian culture, but not anymore. Thousands of child sexual abuse cases are reported annually in our country. PDRM statistics showed that in 2016, 2,465 cases of child sexual abuse were reported. A year later, the number rose to 2,641 cases, even though the Children's Act 2017 was implemented in July the same year. In 2018, a total of 2,010 cases were reported, while up until July this year, almost 2,000 cases have already been reported. We met the Executive Director of Protect and Save the Children, Mariza Abdul Kadir, an NGO who puts its predators to justice, and asked her why these numbers are increasing.
Because the numbers have been quite steady over the years, and we've been doing this for almost 20 years, actually 20 years. I've been doing it for 20 years, and the numbers have been very consistent. Annually. I mean, plus minus a couple of dozen, But the thing is that the number of reported cases have gone up, and we really like that a lot, simply because it means that there is awareness. That means people are beginning to get aware of child sexual abuse, but more importantly, they're willing to come up and report. Whereas last time it was all sweeping under the carpet. Let's pretend there's no, elephant in the room. This thing doesn't really exist. It's only poor people or rural people or only among a certain race, etc. So everyone can kind of gloss over it and pretend it doesn't exist. But I think now, because of both the awareness and the willingness to make the reports, to make a report, the numbers have gone up. And so we see it as a good sign, because it means that people are now beginning to see there is a problem and willing to do something about it.
But Mariza still feels that there are a lot more cases out there that are not being reported.
I mean, only 1 in 14 children speak up. Only 1 in 14, that's 1 in 14, right? That's a very small number. And that means a lot of children out there that's being affected, that's not speaking up and not getting any help. And we come across a lot of adults who are survivors of child sexual abuse.
Although the increasing number of reported cases is seen as a positive sign, most will probably worry about it, especially parents. To make matters worse, earlier in February, Free Malaysia Today published a report saying that pedophiles are now targeting Malaysia. Ajal Fernandez, co-director of Tenaganita, a human rights group, has this to say.
I think we must not say that only foreign pedophiles are targeting Malaysia. If we look back past years, I think pedophiles have been in the country, and many of them have been Malaysians, involved partly with families or neighbors or in the community. We again go into denial, sorry to say, but we blame foreigners.
These cases, vile as they may be, do get serious attention from the nation. Last year, an 11-month-old baby was raped and abused in Bandar Baru Bangi. After investigation, it was found that the husband of the nanny was the culprit. He was also tested positive for methamphetamine. Meanwhile, the innocent victim, Nur Muazzara Ulfa Muhammad Zainal, had to suffer for 2 days in the hospital before succumbing to death. Postmortem showed that there were tears to her hymens and anus, besides a fractured skull due to a blunt force trauma. Catch our next episode next week, where we will discuss on how stranger danger is a myth, and that the odds of your child being sexually abused by the people that are close to you are more likely than you might think.